Hi guys, I'm Erin here at CFS Health, and on the other end we have the lovely Jane. Jane recently did our recovery program, and her story is very inspiring and powerful. So we are here to share her story today. So thank you, Jane, so much for being here.
That's okay. It's my pleasure.
So I'd love to just start by at the beginning. So if you want to share where you were and what it was like for you before you joined the program.
Well, 16 long years ago, I had flu. It took me off my feet. I was not recovering, went to the doctors as you do. They put me on all sorts of tablets, which, some worked, some didn't. And then finally, I got myself to a stage from being bedridden, husband doing everything for me, lifting me out of bed, putting me on a computer chair, pushing me to the bathroom, bringing me back, putting me back in bed, cooking, doing everything, completely, just completely bedridden. Then I started to find that I was able to spend a little bit more time out of bed, and it went sort of slow, very, very slowly. I was getting more and more time out of bed. Finally managed to go back to work. I was in work for about I suppose 4 or 5 months, doing really well. And then my hours moved. So I then started to push myself and do too much. And I majorly crashed again. I was back in bed, and I did that about 3 times, went back to work, crashed again really badly. And then finally I decided that it was ridiculous trying to go back to work now at that moment. Then I started being able to move around a bit, but still I was pushing all the time because I thought, oh yeah, I feel better now. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I've started a job, I've got to finish it. I just crashed, if that's not the best word for it, I don't think, but I was just sort of ending up, I was 3-4 hours out of bed, or perhaps half a day out of bed, and the rest of the day I was in bed. And that was my cycle when I started the course. The push crash cycle was my life.
So when you joined the program, what started to change for you?
What started to change was I had no baseline at all when I started the course, mainly because I didn't know how to get a baseline. I didn't know what my baseline was. That was the first thing that really started kicking in, was when I started listening to my body, not feeling guilty about resting, just sort of thinking, right, okay, now I feel I need to rest, and doing it, not feeling guilty about it, just doing. And then my baseline started to come in quite slowly, but then all of a sudden I was aware, oh, I've been up, I've been on my feet, more than I ever have before. My husband started to notice that I was happier, I was less stressed. I was very, very, very symptom based. I was always constantly sort of ow, ow, ow all the time. If I moved, it hurt. And I'd vocalize it. And when I stopped being symptom based, that was a major breakthrough. With my baseline and that just all of a sudden came together. That was the major breakthrough. I was able to do much, much more.
Share with us where you are. So 6 months later, kind of where you are now and what you're doing and what some of your wins have been.
Up all the time now. I don't need to sleep in the daytime. I don't need a rest. I can go shopping. I do get tired, but then it's quite pleasant to actually get tired. Before, it was an overwhelming urge to need to lie down. I had to lie down. Well, that's gone. And that gives me time. I can now garden. I did write the other day to you about, we had some sheep coming into the garden. I did a victory dance. As soon as I managed to run towards the sheep, get them out of the garden, I ended up doing a victory dance, because I thought, yeah, I couldn't do that last year. This is brilliant. I can sort the sheep out. It's wonderful. I walk most days now. We've got, round us, we have a lot of countryside walks. And I absolutely love just walking and not having to think, oh, how far have I come? I've come so far, I've got to turn around now because others I won't be able to get home. I can just walk. I went up to one of the mountains, hills at the back of us, has a beautiful set of stones up there. I walked up there. It was a challenge, but the fact was, nothing happened to me the day after or the day after that. I did it. I stood there, I got to the top, and I was elated, because it's something that we've lived here just over 2 years now. And I've wanted to walk up to those stones since we moved in. And I knew that I couldn't do it. But now, after being on the course and knowing how to get my baseline and all that, yeah, it was amazing to be up there. It just felt like I was on the top of the world. It is amazing because in the beginning, I've been following CFS for a long time now. One particular day when I sold my car and I said, well, what am I going to do with the money? And it was exactly, I decided at that point to get in touch with yourselves and say, can I join the course? I've got another car now because I can now drive again. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to bring up too is your grandmother as well. So you've been able to spend more time with your family as well.
Yeah. I can run around in the garden with him. I can play all day with him now. And when they go home, I just go, and then I just relax and I can run up the garden with him. I can put him on the swing. I can stand up while he's playing. And yeah, there's that part of it. I thought I was going to miss my grandchildren growing up. And that was something that it was heartbreaking
Yeah.
because they'd come in and they'd visit me in bed. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be an active granny. I wanted to be able to go and take them out and do things with them and run around like a nutcase in the garden with a bubble gun and all sorts of things and kicking a football round. I wanted to do that, and now I can.
And
This
chasing
is
the sheep too.
and
Chasing
chasing the sheep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's opened life up so much, and I just feel elated about life.
I keep going back to your story and that for you it was really that baseline. So it's just powerful to think about, you being mostly in bed and having, your family having to come visit you in bed to now having your bubble gun and chasing sheep and your grandkids and climbing to the top of the world and your backyard. And so it's incredible. So I'm just so pleased for you. I'd like to hear too. So if you didn't join the program, where do you think you would be currently?
Well, I'd still be pushing, crashing, and I'd still not be able to do the shopping. I'd still not to be able to do a full day. I'd still not be cooking, showering every day. Because when you're in bed for so long, you get hot, you get sweaty, sometimes you can't shower, you've not got the energy. And so that's where I'd be. I'd be a horribly smelly mess still in my bed. And my husband has also got his life back.
Yeah, and that's something too that you're so right in saying that the people that are close to us, they're going through it with you. And so it's often like people say to me, like, I just want to relieve like, my partner or my parents of some of this. And so I think that that's something that our goal here at CFS Health is to, have people become independent and self-sufficient and to empower them. And so it's just so great that, you've taken the tools and implemented them. And now it's like, you're just riding through life with so much joy, which is just the best thing. So just really happy for you. What advice would you give to people that are currently experiencing chronic fatigue syndrome and that are struggling right now?
The main thing is, and this was such a big thing, the main thing I would say is be kind to yourself. Don't feel guilty if you've got to lie down. Don't worry if somebody's saying to you, oh, it's all in your head, or all you need to do is go to the doctor and get some tablets, or if you got up out your bed, you feel much better. It gives you such a guilt conscience. And all of a sudden, when you can actually sort of say, I don't care about all that, I'm concentrating on me. Even if it's only one person, even if it's only your spouse or your mum or your sister or your brother or a good friend, as long as somebody is on your side and you can say, this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to feel guilty about laying down. I need this rest. I need to do this meditation. I can't do this at the moment because I need to do what I need to do to get better. Then when I'm better, I'll come back to you. And I think when you lose that, as you said, that guilt is just consuming. When you lose that guilt, the baseline starts coming in much stronger. And don't be symptom based as much as you can. Have gratitude for what's right. Always find something to laugh at. Always be grateful for, even if it's the tiniest little thing, putting 2 feet on the floor. If that's all you can do in a day, it's amazing. Celebrate the little things you can do. And the more little things you celebrate, the bigger the ball rolls. and it just gathers momentum, and then you end up chasing sheep and chasing your grandchildren with bubble gums. That's what you end up doing.
Oh, yeah, no, I do agree that the kindness to yourself, I think, is
Mm.
just is so important. And so I'm glad that you brought that up.
The fact is that there's a lot of people that will tell you you can't get better. But if you're in the mindset, if you get that mindset going and you want it bad enough, this program is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I wish I'd done it a lot longer ago. As I said, I've been following Toby for ages, and I wish I had done it earlier. So,
Well, thank you so much, Jane, for sharing your story. It's so inspiring. Just a pleasure to speak to and a joy to be around. And we're just so thrilled for you that you're just living the life you've always wanted to live again. So it's just brilliant. So thank you so much.
that's okay. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. And I also have friends all over the world now, which is also nice.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we do have a lovely community, international community, just really special
Definitely.
people. Yeah, wonderful. Well, for anyone listening, if you guys are interested in applying to our program, we have a link below. And if you want more resources on how to kickstart your recovery, you can also check out in the description below as well. So thank you all for listening, and we will speak to you all soon. Thank you. Thanks, Jane.
Bye.